Hi, Christine Weber here. Welcome to my weekly live stream. I love supporting mature yoga teachers, getting their wisdom out there into the world. Today, I want to talk to you about how using fine motor movements in your chair yoga classes can be really supportive for cognitive function. So, research shows across the board that we need to continue moving as we get older, and that is super helpful for maintaining cognitive function. But also, when I think about fine motor stuff, I think about things that people traditionally enjoyed doing as they got older. Like I'm thinking about women with their needlepoint, making pillows or knitting, is another thing. Or some people as they get older really like drawing and landscapes and things like that. So if they have more of that artistic side to it. So, or epistolary, my grandmother had this beautiful penmanship and she loved to write these beautiful letters and write in her journal and stuff. So people do different things with their hands as they get older. And we have lost some of that, except for texting. We've lost some of that fine motor stuff. So I like to bring it into my classes because traditionally, or I should say historically, people have done fine motor things with their hands as they've got older, and there's certainly some correlation between that and maintaining cognitive function. And also, it's just fun stuff to weave into your yoga class. So why not add some of it? Many people are coming to yoga because they know they need to keep moving, but they have injuries or it's usually chronic issues with knees or shoulders or hips or low back. And then this is a way that we can sort of emphasize some of that fine motor stuff to support the folks that are coming to our classes, as opposed to, that they're just doing these big motor movements. So why not add some of the fine stuff too? Okay, so let me show you a couple things you can do. So one of my favorites are making flowers with your hands. And I like to start with like a soft, kind of curled in flower, like the bud flower is curled in. And then one hand, like right hand opens thumb to pinky, and then pinky to thumb. You can do small movements like this, thumb to pinky, left hand. Alternating is also really helpful. That's bilateral stimulation. You can watch if you want. The visual cortex takes up so much of our attention, so watching helps you to create even more functionality. And then also you can do it with a breath. Inhale, exhale. And the beautiful metaphor of that flower opening and then folding back up. Inhale, exhale. Slows you right down, which is so helpful for that parasympathetic. What about taking them diagonally? Look up. And then if somebody had a shoulder issue or low back and it doesn't feel good, you could do smaller. Right. And now I'm getting that lovely contralateral stuff. Well, it's kind of contralateral. I mean, contralateral, it depends on who you're talking to. The neurologist will say like that, this movement in my right hand affects the left brain, but like the physical therapist kind of people want to get your leg involved. So I could do right hand, maybe this one, left foot, or even play and have fun with like, could I do my right toes and my left fingers together? Like that's another, because I can't do it. Some people maybe can. They're really good with their toes. I can't do it, but it's kind of funny to try. But I could do something like big toe, thumb, big toe on the other side. So then I'm getting some of that. I'm getting some of that contralateral stuff in, which is also really good for the brain because now it's making me use the right sensory motor cortex and the left sensory motor cortex at the same time. Let me tell you just a little bit about that. So this is one of the psychoeducational tools I like to use with people, sensory motor cortex, and so it shows people where it is. Why is the sensory motor cortex so important? Well, it's helping us to coordinate our movements with awareness and thoughtfulness. So it's not that quick movement, like when you put your hand to the fire and you pull your finger away, that's brainstem and spinal cord. That is not going up there, right? So, but now when I'm using the sensory motor cortex in a very careful, aware way, what I'm doing is helping to refine those brain maps. We have maps in the cortex here that tell us about our body. So I'm refining those maps. Why is that good? Now I know where my body is in space and how it feels. And it actually creates a lot of feelings of safety and greater control over the physical body. Why else is it good? Well, because the sensory motor cortex on each side is lateralized. So my right sensory motor cortex is controlling what's going on in my left side. You know this from like strokes, right? People have strokes, then the one side doesn't move because they had the stroke on the opposite side, right? My left isn't controlling my right. And when I'm using them both at the same time, the axons of the neurons in the sensory motor cortex have to reach across and communicate with each other, essentially. And it kind of helps with that hemispheric integration. So my right and left hemisphere are working better together. That also is considered helpful for cognition too. One of the most important functions of the corpus callosum, the place where those fibers are running across each other, is inhibition. So that means it's like calming things down. It helps us to calm down. So doing opposite movement, opposite arm and leg movements, or even just this kind of different things with your arm, is also, it's helping to calm things down as the nervous system and the brain feel more settled in that parasympathetic homeostasis. Then we can think more clearly. So it goes right back to cognition. We can think more clearly, we make better decisions. So this, being able to easily talk about these things with your students and having your students feel like, oh yeah, that going to yoga class is not just about exercise, it's like about my brain, it's about my cognitive function. So good. It gives much more of a buy-in for why they come. I'm a huge fan and a huge advocate of differentiating what you do between the fitness stuff. People are coming to your classes and they're like, oh, I've been to fitness classes, so that's what I should expect in a yoga class. So I'm a huge fan of an advocate of like, what we're doing here is different. This is not just about movement. It's not just about exercise. We're learning to control or to have greater control over the autonomic nervous system, which gives us a sense of more agency in our lives, more ability to control the moods, more ability to have a sense of agency over the movement of our body, of feeling safe in our body. So we do nervous system work. That's probably technically it's more neuroendocrine work, but anyway, I tell people we do nervous system work. And also then you're teaching them how to meditate. You're teaching them how to do breath work and breath control. Like this is all very unique to the yoga system. And I think and when we emphasize that, we get more of a buy-in and people think, oh, it's not just like going to get my workout 3 times a week. I'm going to do stuff with my brain. And as I said, many people are aging. Like there's this like massive opportunity for yoga people, yoga teachers, and yoga professionals to really be important nodes in your community for public health. I think there's this like incredible potential for that. And we haven't really leveraged that much in the yoga world. We still are thinking in terms of studios or, and there's nothing wrong with studios, by the way, but that's the way we think instead of thinking like, oh, there's so many other places we could be teaching and supporting the health of the community. So I hope that this has been helpful. Thank you so much for being here. It's really helpful for the algorithm if you leave a comment, so I'd really appreciate that. If you want to study with me regularly, I teach every Wednesday morning. 9:30 Eastern time. You are very welcome to join us. It's called the Subtle Yoga Resilience Society. Just email us and I'll give you information about that. And I've got a chair yoga workshop coming up on Saturday. If you're interested, I'll put something in the description so you can check that out too. Thanks so much for being here and I'll see you soon.